Let's talk Xbox and let's talk Japan. Because Xbox, for the first time in, a decade, the Xbox had a week where it outsold PS5 in Japan. Well, guess what? It looks like it's done it again.
I wonder something.
And it just didn't beat it. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, before you go into your conspiracy theories, Jordan.
I have a
So
couple.
the total. Oh no! There we go.
David's computer just broke.
It has
expensive computer.
It has been traveling. The total sales for PlayStation 5 was around 3,000. Series X and Series S both sold 3,000 each in the last week.
6,000.
Or sorry, the week of June 13th is what it is, beginning June 13th.
Oh, okay.
So again, now, does it mean that PlayStation is losing ground to Xbox in Japan? Probably not. But it is a sign that Xbox is doing things right and doing them right in Japan. Does it have to do with shortages? It doesn't. It doesn't hurt Xbox. That's for sure. That it's difficult to get both consoles.
I thought you were. I seriously, when you said does it have to do with shortages, I thought you were going to do the rock. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter about shortages. You can take your shortages.
It sounded like you were going to set that. It really did. I felt like you were setting that up.
I mean, it doesn't hurt, but we do see Xbox getting aggressive. We saw it with their E3 presentation, Persona 5, Kojima Games coming on, working on a special unique game there, and just really focusing on Japan, making it a priority. The last time they did that was with Xbox 360, and we know how that went, and it went really well. Is this sustainable? Do we think we'll get to a point ever?
Well, did Xbox 360 do well in Japan?
No, I don't think it did.
I don't think it did.
I think
they've been trying.
Sorry, it did the best out of all the Xbox consoles to date.
Well, I mean, there was only 2 at that point. So.
No. To date, which means Xbox One.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
All of they sold 20 units, which is more than the 5 of the previous added together.
No, in fact, the last time that Xbox outsold PlayStation 5 on any given week was the 360 in Japan.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, what's really interesting, and this is, I mean, I'm not the first one to think this. There's been articles I've read about this, but I wonder. I think a good majority has to do with the Series S. Being a lower price point and being an entry level console.
It's small and sexy.
Yeah, I think that.
Well, it's my nickname in high school.
I think that has a lot to do with it because you can get an Xbox at a very entry level price and still have the same, a very similar experience. But anyway, I almost wonder if. So we know that Japan is a very very proud culture, right? Which is really cool. But I wonder if there's been a little. I don't want to use the word backlash, but anyway, Sony moving their gaming headquarters to California, and now
I get what you're saying.
I want to be careful with my words because I don't want to say anything, but moving their headquarters to California and kind of making the Japan market a secondary market to their overall goal.
Well, the thing
you know
is,
what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
understand why they've done it, right?
I see what you're saying. You're basically saying since they've had. And they still do the Asian market locked up on lockdown.
And I'm just kind of...
It's not been a concern, and so maybe there's an opportunity for... Or not that it's not been a concern, but you tend to take markets that you own for granted sometimes.
Well, and again, being like, I wonder if, like... I don't know, it's like when your favorite sports team moves to a different city, you kind of like dislike them for a minute or so. You know what I mean? Like, and
the feeling of not being loyal.
And I'm just wondering because the Japanese culture is very loyal and very proud, right? Do you think that affects like, oh, well, if Sony's leaving us, I'm going to get an Xbox. You know what I mean?
No.
And then going into what you were saying, like, and I don't think it's maybe necessarily that, but Sony used to focus on Japan, and now Japan seems like a secondary market to them, which if you look at the paper, I mean, Japan gave them 3 million consoles. The world gave them 35 million. You know what I mean? And that's just population, right? So, I mean, I see why they moved their headquarters and stuff like that. Well, I'm just wondering.
No, I don't think there's a bad taste in Japan consumers' mouth or Japanese consumers' mouth on the PlayStation 5. I think that's very highly unlikely.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that Xbox is doing things that Japanese consumers
like and enjoy,
or that appeal more to Japanese consumers.
And not to mention, if we were to count, I mean, what's the total? I think PlayStation 5 is still probably ahead.
Oh, I know it's not even close.
But it's just- yeah,
they're
but it's
ahead a
just,
ton.
you
But
know.
on a week to week, it is noteworthy that now this is the second time this has happened in 2 months. So in 2 consecutive months. Then that's a big deal. It is a big deal. You got to start somewhere. PlayStation fans listening to this are like, you guys are stupid. Look, it's not even close. You got to start somewhere. This is a good starting point.
I was going to say, sometimes it's not about playing better. It's sometimes the other team plays better, or sometimes the other team, you know what I mean? So that's
not about failing.
It's not about failing. Sometimes if you're starting to, get scored upon, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes the other team just are making shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I guess you could always argue as well that everybody in Japan probably already has a PlayStation 5 and Nintendo, so the only thing left to buy is an Xbox.
And a Game Pass.
And a Game Pass, yeah.
And that's why.
That's why we're,
Dieter Pingley's dropped a super chat. He says, Japanese are very loyal and very proud. Thank you for that super chat, Dieter Pingley.
It's a really cool culture. I'm planning my life to visit there one day.
It would be, you are.
Hey, can I go with you?
Yeah, I would. I got a bucket list. I watched this guy on YouTube. Shows me around Japan, really cool YouTube channel. But I got a bucket list. I want to go to the Pokemon store.
Yeah,
I want to go to the Pokemon Cafe. It's a real cafe.
Yeah,
I want to go to.
I'd like to go to
Nintendo hotel.
Yeah, Nintendo Hotel. Yeah,
the original Nintendo factory was turned into a hotel.
Yeah,
I want to go to the place where My Hero Academia was filmed.
I would like to. Yeah. I would like to
that
go.
College route.
Wait, is that an actual place?
Oh, it's probably based on a city.
I was like, wait a minute. Did they use actual?
David, that's a cartoon.
No, I know it's a cartoon, but I was like, did they just use an actual place?
No, it's a cartoon. No.
I want to go to where Attack on Titan was filmed.
Yeah.
The Attack on Titan
It's an
cities.
island. I'd like to go to like Nintendo Land, and I mean, basically, a lot of my favorite things in the world are on the island of Japan.
I watch a lot of like cooking on the streets of Japan YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Street food.
Street food. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes the guy like films the same thing for 40 minutes, but I'll still watch from start to finish.
Oh yeah, the guy we watched. I
beating
think
eggs.
I think I showed you, Jordan, that guy that you watched. That he goes to like Japanese offices. And
Oh yeah, he does like a day in the life of.
It's
really
like an
cool.
entirely different culture.
Yeah, really, it's
would
really
be,
cool.
Like there's a reason. There's basically no Westerners at any company there because it's way different, and it's a cool. I like it. I like it.
It's a cool
lot.
culture. Yeah. Anyway, it'd just be nice to be on a giant island that has the same views as I do when it comes to like anime and Pokemon, and like it's
Yes.
celebrated.
It is celebrated.
You know?
It is
Where
celebrated.
you're not shunned.
Yeah.
Beast says it's an anime, not a cartoon.
Hey, I'm gonna counter that. That's sort of true, but see, cartoons have animations, and you know what anime is from? It's Japanese animation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're technically, we're both kind of right there. You're probably more right, but but come on, okay, it was a joke.
I still see you down in that hole. You're not-
I went down a couple of notches and Beast's mind, and I don't like that. I want to stay on top.
I also think I saw they have a Naruto theme park as well.
Do they?
Do they really?
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
I'm just
Does everybody run around like
Yeah,
this?
I'm telling you, man, it's celebrated there.
Remember